Welcome to the Great Lake Smoke Podcast Show. What we talk about basically is the love and the passion of cigars, pipe smoking, tobacco, alcohol, brothers chilling out and having a good time, laughter.
Well, how else are you gonna, enjoy a nice bourbon?
And you kind of went animalistic on tobacco buying, haven't you?
And the Rocky Patel Pure and Simple. I don't know, that thing just tastes so good.
Aficionados, and welcome to another Great Lakes Podcast Show. We got an exciting guest tonight, and we can't wait to introduce you and listen to all the knowledge and fun stuff that he has. But this evening here, folks, we're lucky we're able to get on because the storms are not really good outside for us, so we might lose, connection. So we'll have to see. Just want to give you a heads up. Cousin Frank is joining us. Hello, Cousin Frank.
Hey.
How are you, buddy?
No. How are you?
So anyway, for all you newbies out there, this is the normal regular time, 7:30 p.m. Central for the Great Lake Smoke Show. My name is Ron Pecorini. This is my brother, Bob Pecorini.
How you doing, man?
The technician, the man, the wizard behind the scenes, Kyle Gesso.
How you doing, everyone?
And we have Cousin Frank down here from Florida these days. And
how are you guys?
There you go. He'll be doing a segment called Stump the Chooch. So we'll get into that in a little bit. And what exactly a chooch is basically Frank will ask us some questions and try to stump us, make us look like a bunch of jackasses, bottom line. A chooch, there you go. A chooch in Italian is a jackass. So, and then what's going to happen is he's going to ask you, the audience, to answer one of the questions on Facebook. And you too will have an opportunity to win this pipe. And this pipe is brought to you tonight by
and here he is tonight. Here he is.
Oh,
Tim is here tonight.
Tim Garrity from the Chicago Pipe Club. We have an audience in the house, and we also have another Pipe Club member from Chicago. Jeff Rice is in the house. Anonymous. Yeah, I tell you.
You just hear his voice. That's it.
So this is an El Morhaine. It's a Algerian. It's a nice, clean pipe, and it's got. I like to always say it's like a nice stem and.
Yeah, it's got a P-lip on that, like a Peterson.
Yep.
Nice bit on that.
So this is a nice,
very
clean,
nice, attractive
very
pipe.
clean, and that's going to go to a winner tonight if you can stump the chooch that Frank is going to ask you. So that will be coming later on in the show. And for all you guys who like to send us any kind of information, stuff that you want to hear us talk about, stuff that you want to give to us that we can announce. If you're interested in sponsoring the show, we're always looking for sponsors. We want to thank all of you for staying on board with us. The show is absolutely getting bigger. We are really going worldwide right now. So we're excited, but you can write to us at Great Lake Smoke Show at AOL.com. Again, that's the Great Lake Smoke Show at AOL.com, or you can always PM us on Facebook. All right.
So you got your pipe collection behind you there, Frank. Nice variety.
I do.
Yeah.
Pipes there, buddy.
Thank you. Like my meerschaum back there? It's hanging nicely.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks great. And I'm glad you got into the pipe world tonight, Frank, because we have our special guest from, I guess you can say, a very good friend of ours that we met last year at Las Vegas from Sutliff, our very own president, Jeremy McKenna. How you doing, Jeremy? How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
We appreciate you
Thank you
taking
for coming
time.
on, man.
I know how busy you are, and we do appreciate anything you're giving us as usual. I know everybody is always trying to grasp and grab you and asking you what's going on in the tobacco world, and especially missing out the show. We were hoping to do another live podcast with you like we did last year, but we just have to wait. So
But we got you here now, so that's good enough.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So basically, tell us a little bit what has been going on this last year since we haven't talked to you. How's business been, especially with the COVID, and how are things handled in the factory? You know, if these things are being done differently.
Well, how about
What's
everything?
new?
How about tell us all about the history of the company? Because a lot of people really don't know much about the early days of Sutliff.
And how you became the man.
Well, that's a long story. It started 42 years ago, but we'll skip ahead a few years. No, yeah, for those of you that don't know, Sutliff is 171 years old this year. We're founded
Wow.
1849. We've been known by several other names throughout the years when we were owned by Consolidated Cigars, Altadis, and then 7 years ago, McBaron out of Denmark bought us. So we rebranded ourselves back to our original name, Sutliff Tobacco, when McBaron bought us. And we love being owned by McBaron. They're a fourth generation family owned tobacco company themselves, founded in 1887. So lots of history between both companies. And the Danes are great. They love their pipes and their pipe tobacco, as you guys are well aware. So that's a great company to work for. I started off with Sutliff, 5 years ago now as their CFO. The then president, Phil Green, had come in to, turn the company around and get it on the right track in the new day and age under McBaron's leadership. And he did a great job and really only planned on doing a few years. So when he brought me on, there was kind of always a plan for me to take over and run the company. And so I guess a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, that transition happened, and I became the president, and have been enjoying being the man ever since. It's nice to be at the top most days. So.
Yeah. Congratulations
That's
on
awesome.
that. I mean,
That's really awesome.
fantastic story. I know of it, and I just want to congratulate you and wish you and your family all the best. Knowing how much your heart and the passion of the industry is, I just know you're going to be so successful.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I mean, you're asking how we're doing in COVID. I mean, in the new world today, and we're doing really well. I mean, it's really the support of all the pipe smokers out there that have kept our business doing well. We haven't seen a downturn at all in our business. So we've been fortunate that all of our employees have remained healthy and their families. So we've been able to keep working and keep pumping out tobacco on a regular schedule. We haven't lost any days or hours due to it so far. So hopefully that continues. Of course, like anywhere now, if you go back to work, everyone's wearing masks around the factory, and we're trying to keep people as far apart as always. But for those of you that have been to our factory and those of you that will be coming, you'll know that we have 95,000 square feet under roof, and there's 25 employees that work there between the factory and office. So we're pretty spread out anyways. So
Okay.
yeah, so keeping distance isn't that hard. But yeah, no, we've been doing well, and like I said, we really appreciate the support. Our bulk tobaccos, I think one of the things that really separates us from the rest of the industry is our bulk tobacco lineup. Have really been growing, and I'll say in a down industry, our bulks continue to grow. Which has been really good. We have people always ask, like, well, how many blends do you have, like different blends after 171 years? And the answer is like 550.
Oh,
Wow.
500, because the last time we were there, Kyle and I counted. Kyle, what did we get? 521?
I think we lost count after 100. I was like, yeah.
No. It was
I lost count after 100.
We had 521, I think, was the number last year.
They wouldn't
went up another 30.
They wouldn't allow me to take my shoes off to keep counting. So
I wasn't even counting. I just kept opening up those jaws and smelling that tobacco, man.
Yeah,
well, like Scarface, but without the white stuff.
Yeah, with the FDA, we had to register all of our blends and our ingredients. So it actually made us like do an accounting of our blends, because a lot of them we don't make. And so that's kind of what can be interesting sometimes is whether we do a private label for a smaller brick and mortar or even a big online company, or we release a new blend, like a lot of what goes on in the industry, right, is just rebranding, right? You take the same blend, I sell it in bulk under this name, I sell it in a tin under this name. But we're fortunate. I mean, don't get me wrong, we do that in some cases, but we're also fortunate that we have such a huge portfolio that we don't always have to do that, right? We can reach back and dig deep and come up with some new and interesting blends and revitalize them. So
Nice.
Very good. Very awesome.
Well, again, 550-ish.
Yeah.
That is an
Pretty
amazing
unbelievable.
amount.
Would you say you probably put out the most out of anybody at this point, right?
yeah, I think that's pretty.
I mean, I
Yeah,
think you could
I
pass
think
Lane.
I can say that with confidence for sure. Yeah.
That's tremendous.
It really
And
is.
again, that's kudos to the company that you were involved with. Now that McBaron has taken over, I mean, that is really a fantastic number. And that's what I'm saying. In the industry, with everything that's going on, it is, I think you guys are going to be set for a while. What do you foresee, if any, issues in the tobacco world with the FDA? Are you guys worried at all about getting hit with possibly losing some of these tobaccos because of the regulations that they're trying to talk about 10 to 12 years? Or what do you know of where we stand? Because again, court has been out of session, but you do keep an eye on what's happening. Where are you at right
Will your
now?
blends remain, or you're going to wind up losing some of the line?
Well, so it's a mixed answer. We about 75 to 80% of our blends will stay with no questions asked.
Right.
The other 20 to 25% are up in the air.
Okay.
I say they're up in the air because we have a deadline that got pushed due to COVID. It was due in May, and now it's due this September 9th. The same with all the other OTP products. So we either have to file what we call a pre-market tobacco application or a substantial equivalent application to keep our products on the market if they weren't already on the market before February 15th of 2007. So we've been preparing and submitting documents, and we have to do lab tests and all sorts of, I mean, one of these packets, we're not even doing the pre-market tobacco applications because they're estimated to cost like $1 million a SKU.
Oof.
So we're doing these, what they call substantial equivalents, but it's still about an 80-page application per SKU. So we're in the process of putting those together right now. I've got over 500 blends or products grandfathered to the FDA's website right now, with more coming in every day. We've filed some other paperwork, and we have more coming. But the real question remains is how the FDA is going to choose to enforce really us and premium cigars, right? I mean, those are kind of the two other tobacco products I think that all of us care about, right?
Correct.
For the most part. And they've said in different guidance that they're going to, they don't even mention pipe tobacco because we're so far down on their list. But for premium cigars, they've said that it would be their lowest enforcement priority. We don't know if that's like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, which is like, hey, submit some paperwork and we don't have the time to mess with you. We're just going to mess with vape and other things that kids like.
Good.
Or if that means, hey, we're going to get to you in 3 to 5 years. Or, you know, like we have no clue. So
Right.
you got to check the blocks and hope that it's hey, you're not an issue with youth and things like that. So just check our blocks and go away.
Yeah.
And that's what we're, you know, fingers crossed, really hoping. Because if that's the case, yeah, then all of our products will stay on the market.
Well, I just heard today, yesterday, I'm sorry, that the Republicans in Florida have all band together and written up a letter, a bill, sending it to Washington to try to pass on this tobacco stuff for the cigars and for the pipes. Enough is enough. You know, let it go. Go after the kids. Go after the vapes. Even hit the cigarettes.
Yeah.
But leave the cigars and the pipe tobacco alone. And they drew up a bill. I don't know if you heard anything like that in the last couple of days.
I haven't seen that, but you know what's scary is this winter in February, I think it was, the Democrats passed a bill that would have banned all flavored tobacco, both in cigars, pipe tobacco. You know, it actually passed one house of Congress. right? Like it passed the Democratic-controlled Congress. It
Yeah.
banned all mail order. I mean, it was wide sweeping, the things that it banned. And luckily, the Republicans in Congress, you know, when it got to them, they said, you know, no, this isn't going to fly. But I mean, we're one election cycle away from legislation like that being passed. So,
We are.
you know,
Well,
so
that's
you
why we-
have to, you know, you have to like obviously choose. There's lots of things to be passionate about one side or the other about, you know, but if you're passionate about your tobacco, like, you know, it's really a conservative vote, you know,
Absolutely.
or else, you know, there, so if that, you know, or else we could see that happen, which I don't even know what that would mean for the industry, especially the pipe industry, you know?
It'd be horrible. I mean, really, what would you have? Like just your basic non-aromatics, a
That's it.
handful of tobaccos. That's going to be it, you know?
Yeah, you'd literally have a handful and no online sales. I mean, they're great to have and they're very convenient and things like that. But at the same time, I mean, you could survive with brick and mortar. But you're talking about a lot of companies and a lot of jobs, right?
Yeah.
Just as Sutliff too, for that matter. I mean, Sutliff, I won't say it wouldn't be around, but I don't know what we would look like. You know, I'd probably start blending tobacco myself. You know, like do accounting, blend, sell, podcast. I mean,
Exactly.
I hear you. Well, leave the podcast to us, okay? We'll take care of that podcast for you.
okay.
I know that Trump did say he wants to take it out of the FDA's hands. It should never have gone there in the first place. So, you know, we can only hope that that actually happens.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, I don't know. You hope that common sense prevails and they actually use science, because there's no science behind pipe tobacco or premium cigars because there's no issues, so nobody studies it, right? Like
Right.
that, you know, that's not what the public health universities and stuff waste their time or money. You know,
Well, what, more money to sue them? Is that what we're hearing?
Well, this is the insurance companies pushing all this.
Oh, come on, they're gonna have future studies on the.
There's always study on this and waste money on that.
Effects of smoking 2 boxes of cigars a day or drinking 3/5 of scotch every day.
Well, it could be a lot of stuff.
And they're going to see how many parrots will survive at the end of the year.
I've
you
got
know?
one of our listeners, Kathleen, said that she wrote to a senator, and the senator got back on a bill and said that he was going to be protecting the kids. So it looks like he's going to go after the vape. Which
well, I mean,
I had no problem with that.
yeah, no, I mean, that gives them their blank check, right? Like, hey, we're going to protect the kids. Agree 100%. Like, you know, kids shouldn't be exposed to nicotine or alcohol or drugs. I mean, we do. Everyone that has kids wants to protect them, right? I mean, but unfortunately, sometimes they use that umbrella, and it's easier to put broad sweeping regulations and to start defining, right?
Of
Like,
course.
what constitutes a tobacco product? What constitutes a flavored tobacco? Like, you know what? It's just easier to ban them all, right? Like, you know, we saw it back in 2009 when the government passed different taxes via S-chip, right? They wanted to tax roll your own cigarette tobacco like cigarettes. So it was taxed like pipe tobacco at $2.83 a pound. They jumped the tax up to like $24 a pound. So these companies, and I don't blame them, nobody defined what pipe tobacco was. So overnight they renamed their product pipe tobacco.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so now they're paying $2.83 in tax again. Like, okay. So, you know, so government just takes the lazy route and will ban things. But I tell you, you know, everyone talks about the FDA and the federal government and, oh man, we're so worried about them. But you know where you really have to be worried is, and you guys up in the Chicago area know it too well, is your local government, right? Because that's like 5-6 people get together in a room, and next thing you know, everything in the world's banned.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Chicago's the worst, especially with the Periwinkle and the mayor lawyer Lightfoot. When those people start getting together, yeah, it's all off. But yeah, we have.
Put it this way, we miss Al Capone. I can tell you that. All right, the politicians in this state is out of control.
Well, look, Massachusetts just has a complete flavor ban June 1st. It went into effect.
Yeah,
I've had to provide a list to all my retailers and online retailers of non-flavored tobacco because that's all they can now sell both online and in every shop there in Massachusetts.
It's crazy.
Like, you've had flavor bans nonstop out in California.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just were in that. California is one town, no smoking at all. What town was
no
that?
smoking at all. I don't remember the name of it.
But the people are fighting. They're bringing that mayor to court because absolutely no selling, nothing.
What
Yeah.
about flavored marijuana? That's still legal, right?
flavored marijuana. That's probably legal.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard of it.
Well, the funny part
What's it
about
flavored
that,
with? Hashish?
it's funny you say marijuana, because in a lot of different places during COVID is, especially in like California where they're shutting everything down, right? Well, marijuana dispensaries were considered essential for medicinal purposes.
Absolutely.
So your cigar shop had to shut down, right? The guy trying to make a living for his family.
Right.
And here's the dispensaries. Oh, I need it for my whatever, right?
I'm
Like,
stressing out.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm stressing out because I can't get a cigar. So I need a joint.
So my fear is the continuation of these, these local governments too. I mean, they really do, because you get a big city like Chicago, a whole state like Massachusetts, California. I mean, hell, LA County passes something. You're talking about, 5% of the US population right there. I mean, that now is banned from something. I mean, so we have, you have to watch out for all of it, really, is what it comes down to. I guess it's the nature of our industry. It has been forever, and it's just the world we live in, which is fine. We'll figure it out.
What I find outrageous is the fact that we have the non-smokers dictating everything. What about our rights as smokers? I mean, when are we going to start standing up and making noise?
Going back to what you said, that one person wrote and their sender said, we're protecting the youth, right? So that's where they all stand on their pedestal and get away with it all, is because, no, we're protecting youth. And how can you argue about protecting youth, right? Like, I mean, and so it gives them this wide sweeping blanket just to do what they want. But I agree wholeheartedly. Like, when did America turn into a place that tells us what we can't do, down to smoking cigarettes? You can drink all the alcohol you want, assuming you're 21, right? But now you have to be 21 to smoke. But I can, at 18, I mean, I joined the Army when I was 19, but at 18, I can vote for you to make rules for me and laws for me. I can join the military to fight for all of us and our freedoms to do whatever we want. Oh, by the way, we'll let the government tell us what. Come on, like,
I know it's unbelievable. Yeah,
It's a bad
so
situation.
what happens if you go into the military, you're in Afghanistan or wherever fighting a war, and you ask for a cigar and they say, no, you're too young to smoke. You have to be 21.
So unfortunately, is the federal government, has been changing the minimum age to 21. The military, from the articles I've been reading and seeing, is keeping pace with it. And they, I don't know if they've banned it all and it's all services, but I feel like they've raised the age to 21 now.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I've been in the Army Reserves for 22 years now. I'm retiring this year. Okay.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy.
You're welcome. But do you know how many of my soldiers do some form of tobacco at 18, 19, 20, 21?
Yeah.
Whether it was overseas, whether it's just home, I don't want to say it's part of the lifestyle, because it's not everyone, but it's something you do and you enjoy, at different levels, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's, cigars, whether it's pipe tobacco, it's just, it's another thing to do, but now it's 21. So
I remember when I was growing up, the age for smoking was 18. But of course, I would just walk into the store and buy a pack of Marlboro, which is what I smoked, the cigarettes. And it was sold to me. Nobody ever questioned how old I was. It was absurd. Who's going to ask you how old you are when you buy cigarettes? Never happened.
Bob had a full beard at 13.
Well, I did.
yeah, that's why nobody asked.
I never got ID for liquor or cigarettes.
He was a senior citizen at 18, really.
Yeah. A full beard and no hair on top already.
Yeah, no, I had long hair down to my shoulders back then. But
He looked like Jesus Christ. That's what it was. He could have went right into God's spell and all of that.
but back then, nobody even questioned this kind of stuff. You know, everybody smoked. Okay, yeah, it's harmful, but hey, it was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you look back, you know, back into like the 50s and up to the early 60s, before all the warnings started, people were chain smoking and drinking all day long. I mean, it was just, that was America, you know?
In the military, all you know, in war, you can see it going back to World War I. I know in the ditches there.
Smoke them if you got them, yeah.
And shaking. It's going to be the last smoke.
Could very well be.
Every war, there were people smoking whatsoever. I mean, it was, hey, that could have been the last smoke most of those guys had. And it's not fair to push it.
I love watching the old war movies because always the general or colonel that was in charge was smoking a pipe.
Oh yeah.
Pipes, like,
well, that's the sophisticated guy, you know. Everybody else is nervous, smoking cigarettes.
That was MacArthur.
The guy in charge is always,
MacArthur, Eisenhower, all the big boys, you know.
No, it's neat to go back and watch and you know, see how prevalent pipe smoking was. You know, I mean, I always say that pipe smoking, it would be so much if it was as easy as smoking a premium cigar, meaning you clip it, you light it, you go to town for an hour. Like it would be just as popular, if not more popular, than premium cigars. The reason to me the limiting factor in pipe smoking is the fact that it takes years to figure out how to smoke a pipe. And
no doubt about it. There's definitely a lot of technique.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And once you got it, then you can enjoy it.
Yeah, I've only been doing it since I started Sutliff. And I mean, it took me, I'm still not that great at it, but it took years. And I got to watch it. I'll throw a tobacco in and I'm working. And next thing I know, I'm burning my mouth because I got it way too hot. Like, I mean, there's so many nuances to it. So that's why, I mean, half the time at work, I'll end up smoking cigars, right? Because it's easier for me. And then at home, or if I'm like sitting at work reading like a periodical or something about work, then I'll smoke a pipe, or in a meeting, because I don't have to sit there and be typing on my keyboard or whatever it happens to be. So.
Right.
Cool. Well, I've been smoking pipes since I was 15. So.
Okay.
And if you look at the age now, that's 100 years ago.
What's that in dog years? Like, no.
I was very fortunate that my next door neighbor, who actually was a pipe smoker, at the time I was smoking cigarettes, and every time I'd go next door to ask him a question, or he was really handy guy, good woodworker and stuff, and I used to maybe get stuck on a project. I was building something, and I'd ask him, and every time I'd go into the house, it was like the smell of that pipe tobacco used to always get me. And I just started talking to him about it, and that's how I got interested. And he said, well, if you buy a pipe and I'll show you how to smoke it and everything. And I was fortunate that he guided me right through the early steps. So I kind of didn't really make that many mistakes because he was right there to show me. So it was kind of cool. If probably he wasn't there to guide me, I don't know if I would have continued, because if you don't know what you're doing, it kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, I mean, it does. I remember the first time I grabbed a pipe when I was at work, and I grabbed a pouch of cherry tobacco off the shelf.
We all started with that seaweed.
I'm sitting there having a bonfire in my pipe, trying to keep it lit, trying to draw, like too much air, too little air. And I can see why if I wasn't in the industry, I would have tried it for like a half a day, and I would have thrown it down and been like, okay, give me a cigar. Like, I can do this. Like, that's easy, and but when you think about it, I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy a premium cigar just as much as the next guy,
oh, yeah.
But the complexities and the ability to change your blend and what you're smoking and pipe, there's such a huge range, right? Like whether you're just talking varieties of tobacco between Perique and Latakia and the Orientals, and your Burleys and your Virginias and your Reds and your, you know what I mean? Like just for the base mixes, let alone when you start adding, and not even necessarily like top flavors, because some people like those, some don't. But then if you press it, you know, to age it, to bring out the sugars, like there's so many nuances that you can get out of tobacco, like out of a pipe tobacco, that sometimes because of the process we put into it, that sometimes are lost, or you don't have the variety, I would say, in cigars.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah. No
Yeah.
question about that. You know, and especially look at Sutliff with 500 plus tobaccos. There's a lot of variety.
Yeah.
Definitely. What do you need?
Yeah. And then, like, I mean, we blacken our own tobacco there, you know, so we have and make our own black Cavendish. So then when you mix that in with a blend, I mean, it just, the things you can do, you know, to change it up a little bit. We press a lot of tobacco. I mean, more people are knowing more and more, but like we make all the Seattle Pipe Club cakes, like their Mississippi River, their plum pudding.
Oh,
And so
By
just,
the way, that
Yeah.
new plum pudding, the bourbon barrel,
yeah,
absolutely exquisite, man. Oh,
thank
yeah.
I love.
we were working with Joe and Matt with Seattle Pipe Club, and they wanted to do something a little different. And with the FDA, you can't create new blends anymore, right? Unless you want to pay $1 million, $2 million to get it on the market. So what can you do with varieties of tobacco, with age of tobacco, like, but still have the same formula in it, right? And so that's where we came up with, well, let's take the tobacco and age it in a rum barrel or age it in a bourbon barrel, right? We're not adding ingredients. We just decide to store it in our bourbon barrel as opposed to a box.
That's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Barrel.
So when we did that, I mean, it really, you know, we paired the plum pudding with the bourbon because the tobaccos in it, I think, go best with the bourbon.
Mhm.
In the Mississippi River, having some more red Virginias in it really pairs well with the rum and the
I
natural.
haven't tried that one yet, but the bourbon is definitely top shelf, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Really good.
I mean, Kyle loves that plum, right, Kyle?
Yeah.
I mean, you swear by that.
That is my favorite tobacco out there right
Now,
now.
have you tried
And
the
then-
one with the bourbon
then-
yet? The new
No,
one?
I haven't had it because
Oh.
you guys were with Josh that one night that I wasn't there at Arlington, so I didn't get to try that yet. So it's on my list.
It's unbelievable. It's
Really,
on the
really
list.
good.
It's on the list.
Absolutely. You know, maybe Saturday you might want to join us. 6 o'clock,
Saturday.
There's
Yeah.
a club meeting Saturday.
Chicago Pipe
At
Club,
Arlington.
hang out at Arlington.
Well,
Yeah, he's a member.
Check your fucking email.
Check your emails. Kim's saying, hey, check your
and,
emails.
let's be careful with the language there.
Oh, it actually, yeah, it's a private event.
Nice. So yeah, so things like that are fun. I mean, we did like a private label for Country Squire this year. We did a private label for Cup of Joe's this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I mean, it's when one of those owners, the shop owners, give you a call, or you know, it's fun to work with them on what they're looking for, what they want to do, you know, in figuring out how we can help them out. You know, sometimes you just take an existing blend and you press it, and that in and of itself, you know, really, it's a way to mature the tobaccos and really bring out the. To me, pressing a tobacco really highlights the leaf itself, and it helps accelerate that aging process to make it more smokable day one, and then also just bring out like the natural sugars in the tobacco and different flavors, whether it's the fruits or you know, or whatever it happens to be that variety of tobacco has.
Right,
And
right.
So we do a lot of pressing and making the crumble cake as Sutliff kind of. I think we've pretty much mastered it and make some pretty good products there. So.
I think so. You know, maybe when we come down for the show, we'll talk about producing something for the Chicago Pipe Club.
Yeah, no problem.
Ones in the pans.
You know?
Or
So you
or we
mentioned,
could put
a
together a
few
Great Lakes
vendors.
Smoke Show pipe blend. Oh,
Oh, there
The
you
what?
go. A Great Lakes Pipe Show.
That too.
We have to talk off the air on this one.
Yeah,
Jerry.
yeah.
Yeah, royalty payments.
Yeah, all that kind of good stuff. I say, there is sponsorship also, just to let you know. I mean,
Hey, wait a minute.
who do we talk to about that?
I don't think anybody likes tobacco with marinara sauce.
Hey. Forget about it. So let's talk about some of the vendors, because I heard you say Cup of Joe and all that. What's in line that you know of? Dave mentioned a little bit, but what do you have lined up for October 2nd and 3rd? Can you tell our audience? And we have a really big crowd. I've been
For
really
the Richmond
watching.
show, yeah.
What is going on? What's bring us up to date?
Yeah, so Sutliff, really kind of 2 years ago, we partnered with the Core in Richmond, their pipe club there. They brought back the Richmond show 2 years ago, and 2 years ago we kind of did two separate events. We did a factory tour and just kind of hang out, let you blend some of your own tobacco at our factory on Friday, and then they had the pipe show off-site on Saturday. So then last year we worked with them and we brought it all to Sutliff, and we did it all in one day. There was a day filled with, I think there was 76 tables rented, and we had 320 people there. We did factory tours. We did blending seminars all day. We brought in food trucks. Well, my employees, we grilled out for everyone at lunch. And then for dinner, we brought in food trucks and live music, and everyone just hung out. And it was a great time.
Nice.
And then this year, we said, okay, well, it was a great success last year, but how can we make it better? So we did a few things different this year. We're doing a 2-day event. I don't want to say a show because the actual show itself will just be Saturday. Okay. But instead of packing Saturday with all these other events, we're putting them all in Friday.
Okay.
So on Friday, for example, there'll be 2 different 4-hour blending seminars with Perry Jensen, who's McBaron's master blender. They'll be limited to 20 people each. So if you're interested in that, when we post it goes live, you'll want to sign up early.
Yeah.
You know, you get a factory tour with him, and then you'll have a couple hours of blending with him, and we'll have plenty of tobaccos there that'll be included in your fee, and so you really can work together with him and make some blends and figure out the nuances and why he chooses to blend what tobaccos with which. And then during that same time, we'll be running factory tours all day like we did in the past. I think our factory tours are kind of fun. Not the ones I give. The ones I give are boring, but the people that know what they're doing, those are fun. But what we do is we bring out a whole bunch of bales of raw leaf of tobacco, like your Orientals, your Virginias, your Latakia. And we really start there, and we let you see and handle the tobacco. And then we go through the processing of how we, put steam in it in our vacuum chamber to get moisture in it to start with, all the way through cutting and then into, if it is top flavored, and all the way through packaging. So you really get the whole gambit. You see where we press and how we press 2 different products. So it takes almost an hour for the factory tour. Of course, you can ask questions along the way and all that good stuff. So it's really a behind the scenes look at how pipe tobacco is made from raw leaf all the way to packaged and out the door. So we'll be doing those on Friday also. Also, Jeremy Reeves from Cornell and Deal and Russ Olett from Pipes and Cigars, Hearth and Home. They'll both be doing some blending seminars also during the day. That'll be going on Friday also during the day. But even if you don't want to do any of these things, we're going to have the outside tent area open, and you can just come and hang out and sit there and smoke and chill with your friends, right? And we're going to bring.
The tobacco is right up my alley because I enjoy blending. Something I always like doing, and to see the experts right there and pick their brains. I mean, that's
yeah.
Really I don't think anybody. I mean, out of all the companies out there, Sutliff sells the most in terms of blending tobacco.
Oh yeah.
Well, they got 551.
Well, no. But as far as your basics, two blend.
2 blends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We sell pretty much any base blend, any base leaf that we use, depending on who your retailer is. We sell it all between regular Latakia, granulated Latakia, Perique, all your different Orientals, your Burleys, your Virginias. I mean, you can pretty much buy them all to play around and make what you're looking for. We're trying. I think we've got it. We've got Mark Irwin coming. He did the Peterson book. He's going to give a presentation on the Peterson book. We'll have that going on. And then Friday night, we'll have dinner there if you want to partake, and we'll just be hanging out till into late at night, just smoking and hanging out. And then Saturday will be the show all day. And then Saturday evening, we'll break out some free beer. I got live music coming in. We'll just be hanging out again Saturday evening. I have blocks of rooms at the Richmond Omni, the downtown, which is a really nice hotel right in the historic part of Richmond. It's only a couple miles from our factory. And it's, they have a shuttles too. So once you park
That's what I
there,
was going to ask you. Yeah. How does one get around? Sure.
yeah, once you're at the hotel, we're really hoping to either I'll rent a separate shuttle bus also to augment it, or we'll be using a combination of their shuttle because parking does get limited at our factory. So our hope is that everyone will stay at the Omni, and then we'll do a lot of shuttling with their bus or another one that I'll rent. But also, like, I always know that because I go to shows and different events and stuff, is that one of the big things is, well, where do we smoke at the hotel, right? Because the trend everywhere is no smoking, no smoking, no smoking, right? So what I did already at the Omni was I rented their pool deck out for us for pipe smoking the whole time, for smoking. So we have a designated smoking area at the hotel also that I rented out so that there's no questions asked as to where you can go smoke. So even if you're not hanging out at Sutliff, you got a place back at the hotel to hang out with each other and really, have that camaraderie.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I think it's going to, I know it's going to be a great event. We haven't started booking tables yet. I'm trying to get it all set up right to spin it on Eventbrite. But like some of the big online guys, I know Smoking Pipes is really going to help hopefully bring in some, higher end vendors also. So that we really round out what the pipe show is in Richmond.
How many vendors have you got like right now?
We haven't started signing anyone up yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, we've been slow on the planning and signing up, obviously not knowing how COVID was going to unfold, right? So we've been taking our time before we commit too much into it.
But can we, let's say Bob answered earlier, can we book a room right now? If we wanted to book a room, do we say, with the Sutliff show, is there
the discount rate or rate?
What should we do?
Yes, at the Omni, the block's already set up. So I highly encourage you to go on now, and if you're interested, book your room now. Either mention, the pipe show, the Richmond, pipe show, and they'll find the block. On our Facebook page, on the Richmond Pipe Club's Facebook page, we kind of put out a save the date card, which has the link and stuff to the hotel on there, and kind of go through. Yeah, so you can reference that also.
Good. All right, good. So Kyle and Frank, take a look at those dates. Make sure you're good, so we can join. If we do come down, and I'm pretty sure we would you guys be interested in having us do a podcast down there?
Yeah, definitely. We can easily set that up. We can figure it out and find a time, you can just do it live during the event. I mean, whatever you guys want, we'll accommodate you 100%. So
great. Thank you.
That might be something really cool to do.
Yeah.
I think that would be really good. I know Dave Ellsworth has really been working hard and keeping us posted, and we've really been trying to promote this show. We've been doing it for a while.
I don't know
now.
if there's a problem with it. I'm just going to throw it out there. Maybe doing a whole video of the factory and the tour. Sure. If that's something that's cool. Yeah, I think a lot of people would love to see that.
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, 100%. I can literally make anything you want happen for the most part. I mean, it's
okay.
I know a guy, you know a guy, right?
Right, like.
By the way, lobster for dinner.
You know a guy.
Just for us, of course, not the others.
But no, I mean, it's really. I think the core, when I first met with, as you mentioned, Dave and Chuck and Linwood, and different ones from the core a few years ago. I mean, when we have them out to the factory a couple times a year just to hang out and we smoke and we just, bad ideas back and forth. But what they really expressed to me and what they've always liked about the core show and what they really wanted to be is a gathering, right? Like they don't even necessarily like to call it a show. They like to call it a gathering and really just a camaraderie where people of like mind, at least from a pipe smoking standpoint, can come together, right? And really, just enjoy their hobby and their craft and do some shopping and things like that. And so that's really, this year, I would say that's been our focus around everything is that, well, how can we keep things open more so no matter how little or how much you want to participate, you can literally sit around with other pipe smokers and just have a great time for a couple days,
Right.
Well, I tell you, I really think that this show is going to be really huge. I really do, because people have been denied their shows, and we're a group of people who want to hang.
Social group.
Social
man,
group.
No doubt.
We want to talk, and I know we're about 4 months away, a little less. I truly think you guys are going to be overwhelmed because people are. I mean, I've been looking just at our Facebook page, and it's off the sheets right now. People are really tuning in and listening to this. And again, we'll be promoting this for the next 4 months also. I do think you guys are going to expect a big crowd.
I think so.
And
People
that's
want to get out there and enjoy, as you said, the camaraderie, And
that's definitely what we're hoping for, and we'll plan and handle it. And this is where the military comes in for me. Like my team and everyone that was there, they're like, "This is so organized and well run." I'm like, because I have schedules. 05 we do this, 05:30 this. I mean, I think I started last year at like 03. I got there early, and by the time they got there, I already had like 10 gallons of coffee made, and like, what time did you get here? I'm like, I don't know, a couple hours ago. Drinks were iced, just.
you got a mess tent set up, huh?
Yeah, come early so you can help. So no.
Well, whatever you need, definitely.
I don't like early.
I usually wakes up at around noon.
Yeah, that's fine. Waking up at midnight.
Yeah, but also keep in mind, I mean, Friday, I think we'll have time, but if you even get there Thursday afternoon, we can.
Yeah, I would think that would be it. Thursday, we'd have to arrive by Thursday, sure.
Yeah, I mean, we can do private stuff for you guys, so we can take your time going around the factory. I mean,
oh, beautiful.
You guys think about it, reach out to me what you want to do, and we'll find a time and plug it in.
Okay.
And
certainly will.
Yeah, we got to just get a number, a commitment from our group here about how many people intend to go. Again, anything can change, but at least we'll narrow it down, and we'll call the hotel and book some rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I definitely want to come.
Yeah, we're even doing a slow smoke competition this year, so we decided to add that in. So people need. Well, after Chicago got canceled, I mean, there's so many things that happen at Chicago. I mean, my first I didn't know anything about pipe smoking, and that was like my first show was Chicago, and coming to Chicago and experiencing it, and like we talked about the camaraderie and just. I mean, you spend most of your time for me, I spent most of my time in the smoking tent, smoking.
In the tent, of course, yeah.
That was what you did. Like, it was nice to, you walk through, you see all the vendors, you buy a pipe here or there, some tobacco, whatever it happens to be. But at the same time, you spend more time or just as much time just hanging out,
Yes, you do.
So you didn't come to the show when we could smoke in the main hall, huh? That was nice. Just go up to somebody's table, put your pipe in the tobacco, and just light it right up.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Back when samples were to be free.
I still do it, yeah.
Oh, that's
there
great.
There are some people who have called Bob a tobacco.
Oh.
Not me.
Sometimes they had the tobacco police just walking behind him, tell him that's enough.
Trust me,
Never enough.
it's gotten so bad at not so bad, but at IPCPR or PCA, whatever it is now. Like, we have this one vendor who should go nameless that every year he walks by and the guy's got money and owns a really nice shop. Okay, let's just start there. And he would always just like take a tin of pure Pure Virginia. And normally that's all we bring is the one tin. This guy, I would give him a case of it free. Probably he's a good customer, right? So now we honestly, like last year, we just brought an extra tin. When we saw him, we're like, here.
Yeah, leave that there.
I was gonna say,
$2
you know, you can always crazy glue it to your display.
In Italian, those are called gavons. You know?
Yeah, but it's
Jeremy.
so fun to watch him though. You're just like, just here's your tin. Like, come on.
There you
Like,
go.
There you Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for taking the time and telling us what's going on.
We appreciate
we
it.
really, really appreciate it. It's been a long time since we talked to you, but
Yep.
we would love to have you on again before the show,
Yeah,
so that you can update us. I know Dave is always updating
especially when we get a
But,
vendor list going.
Yep. Yeah.
A lot of people would definitely like to hear who's there, you know?
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So I really appreciate you guys giving me the call and having me on tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good
We're really
talking to you
honored.
again.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep. And anytime I'm here, just give me a call, guys.
Awesome.
Okay.
No question about it. We will.
All
Kyle,
right.
do you have anything more to say in general?
Anything you got?
Um,
Tim, something for Dick?
Just, big shout out to Sutliff. My favorite tobacco shop, Arlington Pipe and Cigar, has a full range of Sutliff products, right? And all I can say, guys, Ace of Spades, which is, an Arlington name for a Sutliff blend, just incredible.
Just don't go in the back room because you might run into a mainlining it.
Yeah. Like, guys are crying.
we don't even speak that name. So
All good. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good 4th of July and keep up the great work. You
All
guys
right.
really do a lot for us in the tobacco world.
all right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take care.
Thank
Have a
you,
good night.
Everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, folks, that was Jerry McKenna from the one, the only Sutliff, and we are so glad to have him on. And I hope you enjoyed that segment with him. We will be having him back on within the next 4 months to update you, as well as David Ellsworth is always keeping us up to date with what's happening. But in the meantime, for you pipes people and tobacco people and all, we are going to go to the segment of Stump the Chooch. Don't be a chooch, but stump one anyway. We've got a wonderful pipe here to hopefully give away.
Very nice.
And that is from our very own, who's in the house
He
from the
is here
Chicago
tonight.
Pipe Club. Tim Garrity has given us one of the donations.
Let me come on video here. Hold on.
By the
yes.
way, is this
Let
the
him come
original
on
bid
video.
for this pipe?
Yeah, let
This
me explain.
T-bit? Yeah.
Yeah, let him explain what's going on.
I tell you what, there's not enough room for 3 of us. Let me step out of the way for a
This
minute.
couch ain't big enough.
Yeah, your butt's bending it here. I can see that. Look at that. Here we are, folks. Tim Garrity
Hey.
of the Chicago Pipe Club. And again, almost half the pipes we give away is between Tim and RNA Treasures down in Tampa, Florida. They're always supporting us. And tell us a little bit about this pipe.
So let's talk about pipes. So although this looks like a P-lip, it's actually a straight lip. Okay. They kind of copied the Peterson model, but what you got is kind of a bent Dublin shape here. First and foremost, folks, pipe sales with a purpose. That's what I do. Whenever I sell pipes, I always take a portion of my profits and we reinvest in pipes. What does that mean? I buy pipes from RNA Treasures because they got a great selection of pipes, great guys down there in Tampa. And we get these in the hands of people who are new to pipes. Okay. Why put any money into this if you're not even going to like it? Okay. Anybody who shows up with one of our meetings, you connect with me and I will make sure that we get you a free pipe if you're new to this. We don't want you putting any money into something that you're not going to enjoy. So it's kind of important for the club and for all of us who enjoy this, that we kind of extend, an open hand of, a gracious open hand to those who might want to give it a try.
Tim, also, why don't you tell us, because you also do a lot of pipe selling.
Yes.
You do a lot of restoration. Why don't you give people your eBay address? And folks, take a look at Tim's eBay. He's got some fascinating pipes at very reasonable pricing.
Yeah, right
and
now
he takes really care of what he does. So why don't you tell a little bit about what you do?
here's what we got going on right now. My eBay handle is FINNIAN3, the number 3. Okay, you just do a search under my handle. Right now, I've got a bunch of base good pipes, $5 to $15. Nothing too extraordinary. These are pipes that I've cut new stems for. Jamie Connolly up there at Stem and Briar has been teaching me a lot about pipe maintenance. So when I get pipes that a lot of people just throw out, I rehab them and I want to get them back into circulation. It's, again, whatever I sell on eBay, it's nobody's reimbursing me for the pipes that I buy and give away. I love enjoying pipes, sitting around talking smack with all these, yahoos.
Chooches.
And what we do,
Brethren.
the brethren of the pipe. Okay. And, I'll tell you what, it is a shame that people don't understand the process of enjoying a pipe. It's not meant to be rushed. When you sit down at the end of a long day and you pack a pipe with your favorite tobacco and your favorite beverage, it is about slowing down and enjoying life.
Mm-hmm.
They're not meant to be like cigarettes. Cigarettes you inhale. Hey, if you're a smoker, more power to you. It's not my job. But when I'm enjoying a pipe, it's about slowing down and enjoying life at that moment.
And
You know?
contemplation.
Yes.
And all the other aspects of it.
I open up some deep philosophy from Peanuts, and and what you do is you just enjoy the moment, folks.
And for some of the more high-strung people, it keeps them from killing people.
And that's
Very
important,
true.
kids.
It's a tranquilizer.
Don't kill
Yeah, it
people. Thanks, Jeff.
There
Now,
you go.
on a more important note, it's people, if you got a friend who's into pipes, hook them up with this show. You got a chance to win a free pipe. You didn't put no money into it. Okay. And you know what? If you don't like it, just give it away. Okay. But we want to
Don't throw it out.
Yeah.
Give it away.
Give it away. Give it away. Just give it back to somebody. We just want to keep this going because the more people that show up at our meetings, I'll tell you what, it's a good time.
It's a very good time. And actually, some of the best people you will ever like to meet in your life.
Yep.
I cannot disagree.
And anybody who enjoys a fine cigar, I understand it's not always easy to make that transition from a cigar to a pipe.
Hard, actually.
But the thing, cigars and pipes have one thing in common: slowing down.
True. True. In this world, we need
Yes.
to slow
You
down.
need to slow down, chill out, and enjoy. Okay?
And Andre, yeah, some people need killing, but not in this instance. All right. Let's do what Dave says. Let's relax and find out more about yourself. When you smoke a pipe, even a cigar, just chill.
Yeah.
We need to chill. Learn how to chill. These two vices really help you
Yes.
chill.
And I'm thinking about my friends who are on the West Coast. I had a good buddy lose a part of his business to some of the rioting that's going on. I sent him a care package. Okay, sent him he got it today. He was enjoying. Just let's say I sent him a lot of money in cigars. But you know what? This is a good guy who's just.
He sent you back the whole package of pot, right?
No.
He's still waiting.
Yeah. Something tells me my local mailman's going to be doing a puff pass on delivering that to my house. Now, the guys, again, from our, from this group to you, this is about camaraderie, contemplation, and fellowship. So the fellowship of the pipe, my friends. Stump the Chooch has been going on for months and months, almost what, 2-3 years now, right?
Stump the Chooch about almost a year.
Stump the Chooch has been around for a year, but the
Yeah.
Chooches have been around for decades and eons.
Yes, yes. No question about that.
Yeah. So tune in every week, kiddies. Look, all right, free pipe giveaways. You know, again,
And free, hey, you know what?
Hey, we want to give you a pipe.
Free
Frank has got to
chooches.
ease up a little bit.
Don't want to give you a pipe. I want you to earn a pipe. I want you to earn it.
okay, but take this out. Hey, anybody who's local, semi-local,
Make your EFI.
you show up to the Chicago Pipe Collectors Club. We have a meeting this Saturday at Arlington Pipe and Cigar in Arlington Heights, Illinois. If you're new to pipes, you only have a couple and you're not too sure about this, show up. We'll teach you. Also, we have what I call the care package. We give you a pipe, some tobacco, cleaners. You know, Chris and Amu up
And
at
a
Arlington
parachute.
will teach you what you need to know to enjoy a pipe. Okay, so show up, you know, and tune in every week, kiddies. You can win a pipe. All right. So
Thank you, Tim, for even supplying us with the pipes
Yeah.
all the time, for your grand support.
It's a very
We
gracious
appreciate
thing
that.
you're doing for these people, you know.
well, you know, again, since I've been coming to the club for, I don't know, 3 or 5 years now. Time flies when you grow up.
Having fun.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll tell you what, guys, great group of people. All right. I have not, you know, it's hard to get good friends and good fellowship,
Mhm.
you know, in this day and age.
But we did find it.
Yes.
We did find it.
You know,
Yes,
and
we
we're
did.
trying to change how we do the club. You know, it's interesting going back several years, people just bumped into the club by accident. You know, they'd wander into the shop where we would meet and they'd be like, hey, there's a club,
Mhm.
you know? So we're trying to get this out there. There's a lot of people out there who can enjoy and benefit from a little fellowship. And it's always great to talk to guys. I mean, all y'all are crazy smoking that fucking mulch. All right. You know, that smells like freaking dung. I smoke only aromatics, kids, because you know what? It smells like Smurfs riding on unicorns with rainbows. Okay. And you know, I'll thumb wrestle you shit to the ground any day.
And right now, he's going to apologize for being so effeminate.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
with that, we're going to kiss him
But
goodbye.
But of course,
Look at this pipe, and folks, Frank is now going to start Stump the Chooch.
just to
3 or
add-
4 questions for us,
just
and
to
then
add to something that Tim just said though about the club. Of course, a lot of our listeners are not local and they can't make it to the Chicago Pipe Club. But every state, I think, has a club. So it'd be, good to go on some of the pipe websites or forums and look up to see where there's a local club in your state, in your town.
And I can highly recommend one called This Pipe Life. The guys on that forum are some of the most helpful,
Yes, they are.
knowledgeable guys out there.
Charlotte's Web, a beautiful aromatic, smells like unicorn sweat. All right, guys, peace out.
All right, and Andre, hey, come on now.
Jeff,
We have to be
you wanna
nice.
add something to this?
Andre's probably sitting there on the edge of his seat.
I'm a virgin.
Andre thinks arrow smokers are
Next time I'll
ladies.
bring a
Oh,
mask.
all right, let's do that. Frank, let's take it away because we're just over an hour, so we're trying to keep this to an hour.
Time to get busy.
All right, let's
All
go.
right.
These are for us folks, so you get to
No
use for what's
white
happening.
ever.
Yeah, really.
I love history, so we'll do a little this day in history, and then today I'm going to bring a little twist to the Stump the Chooch. I'm
Okay.
going to do an image behind me. I'm going to step out of the way, and you're going to have to tell me who the famous person is that is a pipe smoker. So it'll be a visual thing.
Okay.
All
Jeez,
right?
that's a shoe-in.
I actually didn't know she was a pipe smoker. Oh, yeah. I thought
All
she was-
right.
All right. So
Question number 1.
on this date in 1920, the Republican convention was actually in Chicago. And what did it endorse on this day? I mean, come on, you guys should have a little Chicago history there.
Come
Yeah, you two
vote
guys.
early and
New York,
vote
we don't
often.
know.
Kyle, you got
Kyle.
something?
That's it.
Kyle, you know anything about history there in Chicago?
Vote early and
1920.
vote often.
In 1920, they actually endorsed
Liquor.
women's suffrage. So women.
There you go.
So the convention actually publicly endorsed it. So there you go. You're learning something about your home.
Suffragette City.
All right, next one.
Next one. Okay.
That's not so Derek.
On this day, 1948, the news that the sound barrier was broken and it was released to the public by the U.S. Air Force. Who broke the sound barrier?
Chuck Yeager.
Hey, look at this. Look at Ronnie. He's
Hey,
on
not
the
bad.
stick today.
But that would
All
have
right.
been that answer.
It was Tim that got it.
No, I knew that.
Ronnie was that bright.
No, I knew that answer.
And he went on to be the fastest man in the world and still is to this day.
All right, Chooches. This is going to be your first visual clue. Who is this famous pipe smoker?
Is this for us?
Bing
or-
Cosby.
There we go. Nice, Ron. Good. This is for you.
Hey.
Nicely done. Whoa, let me move my seat easily here so you guys can see. All right, ready.
And you know, Savinelli made the pipe called the Bing.
One more for you. Ready? For the stooges in the audience there. Ready? Here you
Okay.
go.
Edward G. Robinson.
Oh,
Nice,
Edward
Ron.
G, yeah.
On the stick. One more for you, stooges. And then
And it's funny because most people only know him as a cigar smoker. You know, that was his gangster
Oh,
image,
yeah.
but he was actually a pipe
real
smoker.
pipe smoker.
Yeah.
Yep.
all
And he had his own
last,
blend.
last one for the chooches there at the dais.
Armadatus?
W.C. Fields.
Oh.
Yeah, Shane.
Ronnie with 3 in a row.
Not bad. Not bad.
Finally, with some,
I know my smokers.
Yeah, you do. All right, ready? This
Is
is
that
for-
really a pipe or is that just a funnel to put the whiskey down into?
that pipe
Look
is
at that
as
thing.
long as his arm. All right, everybody. This is for our fan club.
All right, this is for the pipe.
The audience.
This is it, folks.
This is it. This is.
I'm looking at Facebook now, so everybody get ready to write.
Yeah. Are you ready? Who is this
Ooh,
famous person?
Who is?
those eyes.
What do you think? I'm going to give you an easy one?
She
Doesn't
said
work that way. Doesn't
Wow.
work that way.
Google female.
Eileen Adler.
No, not
Hey!
us. Stop, it's for the people.
It doesn't matter. He's wrong anyway.
Oh, God.
Google.
I'm watching.
Female pipe smoker.
Famous female pipe smoker. Marilyn.
All right, I'll give you a hint.
Amelia
I'll give you a hint. She is
That's
a famous French actress.
Okay. All right.
Andre's
I
got
think
George
I-
Sand.
What's he got?
George Sand?
No. That's the wrong person. This is a female, Andre. Female.
I know Andre wants to win. He'll just throw out whatever name he can think.
Simone de Beauvoir.
Yes.
No.
All starts girl.
Simone de Beauvoir.
Deviate.
Bouvier.
No,
Oh.
sorry, Luciano.
Oh, boy.
Who else, guys? Come on, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Put the timer on, Kyle. Put the timer on.
All right, I'm going to give you one last hint, and people are going to put this in and they're going to get it. That's
Well,
how
then
nice
don't-
I am.
Oh, that's too
Oh,
nice.
Luciano says Greta Garbo.
No, she looks like Greta Garbo, but she's not. She's a lot. Let's just say she's younger.
Garbo was a blonde.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Luciano. He's trying. He is trying.
No, he's trying.
All right. 20 seconds, folks. Miss Peregrine.
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 No.
Miss Peregrine.
Paraffin.
No.
Paraphernalia.
Peregrine. There you go.
No.
Sorry, David. Nope. 10 seconds.
So what
10.
is it? We get a new question?
9.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Eva Green.
Oh, there we go. Winner.
Oh, David Ellsworth. Eva Green.
Eva Green, and she starred in Casino Royale.
Oh.
Yeah.
The
James
original?
No, the remake.
Oh, the remake?
Okay.
Okay.
remake.
So Dave got
Oh,
it.
look at that. And right after Dave, Andre chimed in. Luciano chimed in.
Too bad, guys.
Yeah.
Dave got it.
I saw
Dave
David
and
first.
Ellsworth did get the right answer right before you guys.
David got it first.
Very nice, Dave. Very nice.
Yeah, we need your address. So
I
we can
got,
ship it.
yeah, I got that. He's one of our regular winners. He's actually the guy that's running the Richmond show.
Oh, okay.
So he's doing good. Thank you. All
You want us
right.
to bring it to Richmond?
Yeah, save us the shit.
Anyway. Well, folks, we certainly hope you had a fantastic time. Kyle, we didn't get much out of you. Anything going on? I know you ran it behind the scenes, but there was a lot of action on our Facebook page tonight.
Yeah, it's a good night. It's a good night. Trying to keep things running. You know,
Hey, good
I was running into
All
some
good.
internet things that were happening, I think, with the storm coming through. So I was trying to diligently keep
Yeah.
the broadcast live as long as I could. So that's sorry if I was quiet, but I had a lot of technical stuff I was dealing with on my end. So
And once again, we thank you for keeping the show on. Thank you so much for all of that. Frank, thanks a lot for stumping us.
You guys.
That was a lot of good.
Yeah.
And yeah, Saturday, 6 o'clock, Kyle. Let me know if you want me to pick you up.
I think I'm actually going to be in Indiana this weekend. So I'm sorry.
All right.
All right.
You can. Sounds
Free
good.
state of Indiana.
Free state.
Anyway, for the rest of you guys, we hope you enjoyed the show. Next week, we already have a guest. We have two of our sponsors from DAV
yeah.
Cigars
Yes.
from New York City.
Wow.
Yeah.
At this point, Val and Armin will be joining us next week to talk about what's new at DAV.
Oh.
So tune in next
great.
week and get cigar update. And
We're actually-
in 2 weeks,
You're actually
we
keeping
have
him
a-
away from Stogie Roads this weekend, huh? Or next week? He's usually doing that podcast with Stogie Roads all the time.
Yeah. Well, next week we got him too.
well, pay attention
Making
next
the rounds.
week.
Making the rounds.
In 2 weeks, we got another amazing guest.
Don't tell
I'm
me.
not telling you who it
No,
is. You have to
no.
turn in next week to find out.
Turn in.
Oh.
What do we turn in state's evidence?
Yeah. No, they're
Yes.
Catherine Dubois.
no. In 2 weeks,
Anyway,
2
folks.
weeks, we're not even going to broadcast it. You're just going to have to download it to listen to who we talk to.
That's it.
There you go. So from all of us and special guests, Tim Garrity, Jeff Rice from the Chicago Pipe Club that's sitting across from us, we had a
Can we
great
turn this
time.
around and get Jeff in on this? Nobody knows what Jeff looks like.
No, Jeff doesn't want to be
Jeff is
seen. You know?
anonymous.
Yeah.
Jeff is anonymous.
Yeah.
You know,
You know what? Next time I'll wear a mask.
He's
Yeah.
in the shadows. In the shadows.
there you go.
There he is. That's what he looks like, folks.
Ooh, nice legs.
Anyway,
Some of you might recognize him.
if you turn around backwards, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, from all of us to all of you, keep on smoking. Thank you so much.
Good night.
And you have a great week, folks.
You know what I can
Thank
say?
you.
Good night, everybody.
And I'm not going to trip.